Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 3 of Game Over Cancer. And can you believe it? We've already raised so much money. We've already seen so many hype runs. And you know what? To start us off, we've actually already seen a donation, which was $25 from Mellow Flows, who just says, mega. So I'm excited. If you don't know, if you can't tell by what's on screen already, we have ourselves a Mega Man-filled day. And to start us off, we have a fantastic race, which is going to be Mega Man X7. And I don't want to get in their way. I'll let the runners introduce themselves, the commentator. So here we go. Take it away, Mega Man X7. You have the floor.
Thank you. So my name is FocusSight.
Hi, I'm Ppotdot1.
And we're here today to show you one of the best games ever in the Mega Man X series, infamously amazing. We have with us one of our good friends who also runs this game, TimeLink.
Hello.
Give TimeLink a round of applause, everyone, because he's currently at midnight his time doing this. So we want to say thank you very much, TimeLink, for staying up so long, being in the future like Axel X and are. Yeah. So you're gonna see what's called the any percent new game category, which is any percent from a brand new file. And obviously there is a lot that we're going to be talking about, or specifically TimeLink will be talking about. Ppotdot and I will be focusing on racing, but this game has a lot of fun, especially in a race, because you get to see the randomness of the game really rear its ugly head at times, or grant one runner something amazing, and you know.
I'm sure it'll all even out. It'll be fine.
It'll even out. It'll be quite fun, and I think we'll let TimeLink can hold the floor from here. So.
All right, thank you. And best of luck to the both of you, naturally. All right. I see our runners have both deafened, so they're gonna get a countdown in runner's room momentarily. All right, there we go. We're 5 seconds to countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I was too fast. Go! There we go. Alright, both runners have received the go in text. We're gonna see them start momentarily. Welcome. This is Mega Man X7. Second to last entry in the X series currently. One of the least well-received ones for fair reason, but I think the speedrun really has a lot of merit. This game introduces a third Maverick Hunter that you can see right now that we're going to be starting as. His name is Axel. He is awesome. I love him. This is the intro stage right here. We're going to be taught about very basic things. We're going to be jumping through some obstacles here. One very important thing is one of the things that X7 comes with built in is various accessibility options such as auto fire. And we're going to be using those. And it'll be quite apparent in some sections as Axel. Now, both runners have approached this. Do you even call it a mid-boss? I suppose you do. The guard door. This tells you about the lock-on system. Axel can lock onto various targets simultaneously and switch between them using this little reticle. You have to shoot the glowing orb 3 times, and then the door will open, and we get cutscenes! We love cutscenes. There's a lot of cutscenes. Strap in. There's a lot of them. One other very, very important thing when you're running X7 is the choice of language. Both runners here are playing on the Mega Man X Legacy Collection, which is very important not only for things like load times and just in general for being the easiest version to access, but you can freely choose the language of the game as well. And specifically, we want literally any language other than English US. Because that version of the game gives bosses double health, or I don't remember if it was double health or if it like makes your weapons have half the damage output, but yeah. On any other version, bosses go down twice as fast. It's basically the thing. And so, you know, for some marathons, we like to submit with donation incentive for any percent UK, because then we get the funny English cutscenes. The voice acting in this game is hilariously bad. You should listen to it sometime. But for here, both runners are playing on the Japanese version, which is the absolute fastest. Now we're here, second section of the intro stage, we're going to be playing as Zero. This is a callback to X1's intro stage, the Highway. We're going to be fighting the Beybladers here using crouch dash saber crouch cancels. I think SCC is the official term from X5 and 6. Going to be, you're going to see it again because there's going to be a second one right here. Going to be slashing, crouching in very quick succession to always cancel and use the first slash. Very rhythmically. Not an easy trick, and it's easy to get out of the rhythm too because there's a little like lag, like hit lock when you hit the Beyblader. There's going to be a third one right here after we transition to 3D where you cannot crouch anymore, so we're gonna have to come up with a slightly different strat, that being normal saber dash canceling more or less. There's actually a new strat here as well that just involves this, which is very silly. Sometimes you may hear slightly outdated commentary coming from me because I haven't ran this game in, I think it's probably about 4 years at this point. So, you know, I tried to gear up on whatever I could, and I'll cover some of the interesting differences between now and then, for sure. But yeah, just to put that out there. I myself am a huge Mega Man speedrunner. I have ran nearly every single Mega Man game from nearly every single series. Just Legends still eludes me, but soon. Now we have another little cutscene. Axel meets Zero for the first time, and then we have a little chase sequence. Immediately followed by the boss fight of the intro stage. Now, something very interesting here. Just a couple days ago, our good FocusSight has discovered a very interesting trick that would allow us, in the right setting, with the right setup, to warp straight from the intro boss to the final boss. A wrong warp for this game was discovered mere days ago, and it's crazy. So, you know, if this was any percent wrong warp, we have yet to figure out the leaderboards, it's so recent, but if this was that, we would go straight from this to the final boss. But no, this is still regular old, any percent, new game, normal difficulty, if you want to be really specific. The boss here, Mega Scorpio, he takes 4 hits from Zero Saber. After the second one, he gets long iframes. So, make sure to wait them out. Don't want to hit any parts beside the head specifically. You can attack like the claws and the tail, but doing so doesn't deal any damage, and it gives him a lot of iframes. Like, a lot. So yeah, now we have a lot of text coming up again. So this is Mega Man X7. Now you might be saying, where is Mega Man X in this Mega Man X7? The answer is, he's not there yet. He's taking his time. Basically the story is like that, you know, X is tired of fighting, he doesn't want to fight anymore, even to achieve his causes. He's just basically entirely retreated, and yeah, he's not available as a playable character from the start. You can unlock him in various ways. We are going to unlock him in the course of this run because that'll happen after you beat your 8th Maverick. But at that point, we actually have like no use for him because at that point, we will have several upgrades for Zero and Axel that'll make them much stronger. And at that point, like, when X initially joins, he's really weak. The New Game Plus category makes extensive usage of him, because you get to start with not just X, but also X in his full armor. You get to charge weapons and such, and that's really good, but for a new game, we actually just do not use X. So that makes this Mega Man 0 and Axel 7. Moving on to our first actual stage, Vanishing Gunguru. The reason that we do this stage first is because we don't actually fight the boss here with the Buster or the Saber. We use something special instead that allows us to do a very fast first Maverick fight. As well as the weapon that Gunguru gives you being really powerful, and we will use it basically constantly going forward. Right here, a nice mid-boss kit. You can still see it on Focus's side, very nice. That right there is, I don't know if it has a name, but basically with Zero, if you jump at the same time as you slash your saber, you gain just a little bit of height. So what they both did there was they jumped, and then they double jumped, and they simultaneously slashed during the double jump, which gained them just enough height to pass that wall. In the second section here, we have the ride armor, specifically one of 2 ride armors that you can find in the stage. This is the red one. We're going to be taking this, and it is very important that both runners keep this ride armor alive until the final section. Because the final section also gives you a ride armor, but if you carry this ride armor to the final section, then the final section will spawn a different ride armor, the blue ride armor instead. And we really, really want the blue ride armor for the boss. The ride armor has various attacks. It has like a forward lunge drill attack that's really good for most of the grounded robots here. It has this like explosion thingy that you're seeing Focus do right now that is really good at taking out these walls. And yeah. First section we have to just take out that wall. Second section we have to take out these robots here for the door to open. It's very obscure. The game doesn't really tell you this. So sometimes, like, casually I thought I just had to destroy everything, but no, it's actually specifically... Ooh, wait, Ppot, hold on. Ppot loses the big robot. Oh, no, sorry. Okay, very tactically got out at like 1 HP left on the ride armor, and then got back in to carry it into the final room. As I mentioned, very, very important. You're already seeing on Focus' side right there in the corner, the blue ride armor's part. He's going to try and make the most of this one still. This section right here is a gauntlet where you have to beat a number of these robots to spawn, like, start the boss fight. The number is actually variable, I do believe. I don't know by how much it can vary, but you can just have to fight more robots in this section because the game wants you to. Eventually, in the bottom right, it'll start flashing a number, going from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then, after you do the last one, Axel will jump out of the ride armor and the boss will start. It's very important you don't dismount the ride armor prematurely. You have to let it specifically just fade out. I think, oh my god, I think Ppot's getting a lot of robots here. This is not good. Yeah. If you end this section with the ride armor, then you get to take it into the boss fight, and that's very, very powerful and very good, as we'll see. Oh my god. That's okay, his ride armor is like very badly damaged, but it will get healed. And so now you're going to see on Focus' side, he's going to jump left, jump right in. Ride armor's fully healed, and now we're just going to do this shield dash right here. Back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth, and that's the first phase down. And we're going to do it again. Back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth, and we're just gonna dash around on Gunguru's hitbox. This move is great because it inflicts like no iframes and it does quite good damage. It is likely that your ride armor will die at some point in this fight, and you'll just have to end the fight by using normal Axel bullets or similar. It looks like that's gonna happen pretty soon for Focus. He's being very, very careful right here. But yeah, there it goes. See how Ppot does on the small phase. This one's very finicky because the hitbox is just so annoying, and you don't want to be pushed out of it too much. Very nice. Making sure to step outside the hitbox when each boss has like an invulnerability animation around the halfway mark, and they can still hit you when they're in it, but you can't hit them. So very nice, very nice. Ppot definitely caught up a bit on the boss fight there because Focus had a lot of trouble actually hitting the small Gunguru, and especially didn't want to take it too risky because he only had 1 health left on the ride armor. Now we get the most creatively named weapon in the entire Mega Man series, the explosion. It's not even 2 words, it's just the explosion. It breaks tradition in a lot of ways. But it is really, really good. The explosion is it's just like a blast that you just like put out in the field. It travels extremely slowly, but it does a lot of damage and multi-hits very rapidly, so it's very nice. And something else that is new to this game is you can, as Axel, you have the option to use your special weapons, you know, normally as you would, but also Axel gains like a different gun variant. Focus, okay, he realized. Axel gains a different gun variant. based on the special weapon you currently have equipped for some of them. And the one for the explosion is called the G launcher. It's a weaker variant, but it has infinite ammo, and it is still a lot better than the normal Axel bullets. So we'll be using a combination of explosion and G launcher for a lot of the boss fights from here on out. Now the two are in a go into the next stage, swap their character loadout, or specifically swap around the order for optimization purposes for later. This is the order we're going to be keeping for the rest of the run. And we are into Ride Borsky stage. This is a very unique stage. This is a ride chaser only stage. And the gimmick of the stage, or the goal of the stage, is to disarm 20 bombs hidden around the racetrack. You can technically get them all in one lap, but we're actually going to take 1.25 laps around the course intentionally. Because right here at this junction that Focus just passed, I guess it's not much of a junction, but there's, on the left, you have a couple of Reploids and the weapon tank. And the weapon tank is going to be very, very useful later on. And then on the right side, you have one of the bombs that you need to disarm. So you can't get both at once, and we really want the weapon tank. So we're just going to make 2 passes on that section, basically. The weapon tank is going to be enormously useful in giving us more explosion later on in the refights. It's going to save a lot of time, and it is definitely worth basically doing another quarter lap around the track for. Looks like the pod missed a bomb somewhere later on the track. Oops. It is very, very easy to miss these at high speeds. There are some that are really, they're positioned in a very, very evil and mean way. Also grabbing the hard tank right there. Hard tanks still exist, although they're not hugely relevant. There's one hidden in each stage. And I believe only the character who picks them up actually gets the health up. It's not shared. Now we're moving on to the Borsky fight. On Focus's side, you can see he's placing the explosion inside Borsky for a lot of damage, then switching to G launcher. This is the weaker one. Hoping for a good pattern. Borsky's the first major RNG part in this run. He can just ride around the arena and yell, "You punk! You punk! You punk!" over and over again. And there's not too much you can do about it. Very nice. Now let's see how he treats Pot. And there it is, the "You punk!" Everyone say it with me. And sometimes, yeah, then he just stomps you against the wall, and that's about the end of that. Sometimes there's just not much you can do about that. Lovely, lovely. So now the thing Focus is gonna get to, which I also I had a mild heart attack over when he did it on the last stage, is the upgrade selection screen, or assignment screen, I suppose. Every stage has 16 rescuable Reploids, and most of them give something upon being rescued. Specifically, 2 of them will always give out these disc-looking things that you can invest into a character-specific upgrade tree. We've already rescued the 2 disc Reploids in Gunguru, and we've just rescued the 2 in Ride Borsky stage. And what was very important to hit right there is they both put 3 points into speed for Axel. I don't believe the first 2 perks matter very much, but the third one is Hyper Dash. And that is going to be very, very useful. It increases our dashing speed by 20%, and this adds up a lot over the run. So we want to get that as fast as possible. Now, you can see on Focus's side, Axel is moving around here 20% faster. This mid-boss right here is actually supposed to like cage you in with the claws here and there, and you have to like shoot them down and dodge for a little, but we can just dash jump past this entire section, not have to worry about a thing, which is pretty great. In general, the way that it's gonna be is we're gonna build Axel as the speed character and Zero as the power character. Zero is going to get way more iframes later, and he's going to get more power on his special technique. That is the way we're gonna make things. In total, we collect 7 upgrades throughout the run. 3 go into Axel for speed, and 4 go into Zero for special. And now we have everyone's favorite part of the run! This is Tunyon's mid-boss. It is absolutely infamous for being one of the largest RNG points in the run. Let's see how it treats Focus. Okay, he goes in for a spin. So this boss can just randomly decide to, on a whim, go into his shell and do this little spin right here. And every single time that he does it, it's 20 seconds down the drain, and there's nothing you can do about it. So let's see, Ppot could catch up here if he gets lucky. And... okay. Okay, so Focus gets a 2 cycle. Unfortunately, it was looking like Ppot was gonna get the 1 cycle, but I guess it was, he was barely short. And the worst thing about this mid-boss is that if he feels like it, immediately upon leaving his shell, like right there for Ppot, yeah, he can just go back in! It's awesome, it's great! Run X7, at the cost of your sanity. Oh yeah, to quickly cover what is going on here on Focus's side. He's already way past it now. You're gonna have to watch for it on Ppot's side. But you can just jump up that entire section with Zero's double jump. It's just a spiral staircase basically, but there's holes in it. They're supposed to just make you fall down when you traverse the thing normally, but if you know where the holes are ahead of time and you use Zero's double jump, you can see it on Ppot's side right now, then you can just scale the tower way faster by just jumping through those holes. And you can arrive at the end in no time.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
We just got a $100 donation.
Woo!
From One More Time GFSN. No comment, but I just had to throw that in. That's really hype. We just met the next milestone. Look at that.
Wow. Thank you so much for that generous donation.
Seriously, keep it up, guys. Thank you.
All right, you already... Focus is already done. You're gonna see it on Ppot's side now. The Tunyon fight features a very new strat. Back in my days, we used to do this differently. We would basically just wait around for the first half of the fight. Ppot is just gonna right in, place his first explosion on Tunyon, and then gain some distance, get him to halfway, and then place his second. And hopefully that just does it. Nice. Very good fight on Ppot's side. I didn't see exactly how Focus's went, but it does look like he got the quick kill very nicely as well. So very nice. I think that strat is pretty new, and it's very nice. It like speeds up the fight by like twice the amount or something. Like you don't even get to see his like invincibility rage invincible phase. So yeah, we're going to put more points into special for Zero. The second perk on that path is Double Barrier, which doubles your iframes. The third perk is Triple Barrier, which triples your doubled iframes. And so Zero is invincible for like 5 straight seconds after taking a hit now. It's quite good. There's some older, or I guess more safe routes of this game from way back when people were like doing this for the likes of Triple M and such, where you also had that thing on Axel, but that has since been routed out in favor of optimizing the run. Moving into the next state. Yeah?
I was just gonna say, we got another donation if you want me to read it.
Oh my goodness, alright.
It's from a good friend, Tempest Mask 1000.
Yo,
they got $7, and they have a little message for everyone. They say, afternoon gamers, happy game over cancer. I had to get in a donation for 2 longtime Mega Man pals running my most recent Mega Man X run. And to think we broke the game recently. Best of luck to Focus and Ppot, and a special hi to my buddy Timelink. There you go, thank you so much.
Hi Tempest. Thank you so much. Now, moving back to Win Kurorang, Focus has already passed the first half of this section. The first half is like on these moving planes. There's a pretty tight cycle that you can catch that Ppot just caught. Very nice, barely. Oh, you have to have really good movement for that one, but both of them caught it, so very nice. Second section, we first start dealing with mid-bosses. The cannons are very easy to take out, but then there's this bird, and birds are, as per usual, jerks. This guy can just... I don't know, he can just elude you. He can be nice, and he can be like right on top of you. You need to get him with Volt Tornado, which is the weapon we just got from Tornado Tunyon, but If he wants to, he can also just be off in his own realm. We're gonna see how well Ppot does on it here. In the meantime, Focus jumping through the inner section of the plane right here. Oh, very nice bird for Ppot. He just like roosted on his head basically. Very, very nice. Voltornator, another weapon that we're gonna use a lot. It's a really good mid-boss shredder, and there's even a... Actually, I don't think this is recent anymore, but it's more recent than when I ran the game. There's a quick kill on Wind Crowrang that involves Voltornado. And it is really, really cool. This is like a blink and you'll miss it thing. Crowrang is going to start out in the background. He's gonna have to be lured to the foreground using 3G launcher shots first. But then, if you pay attention to his health bar, we're gonna go over to the left side of the ship and start using tornadoes. And we're basically going to like override his invincibility animation during halfway. And just, well, just watch the health bar. It's there now, and now it's gone! It's fantastic. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's, you know, you're messing with his, halfway invulnerability animation somehow, and he just goes whoop, and that's that. You're gonna have a chance to see it again on Ppot's screen right here if you missed it. I don't know how difficult this is. It always looks so easy. In the refight, there's apparently a more specific timing for it, but yeah. Meow. Voltornado goes brrrr. Very, very nice. So now moving forward, we... I think we have one more upgrade to get, right? I was going to talk about, so, the Reploid tally screens, I'll call them, where it shows you, like, what Reploids you've collected and what have died during the stage. They always take a while to show up, and they also take a while to print out every Reploid. So as soon as we have every upgrade that we need, we're actually going to start avoiding those Reploids altogether. Because if the screen shows up at all, if you collected any Reploids or if any died during a stage, then that's 7 seconds gone over not engaging with any Reploids at all. And then for each additional one that shows up on the screen, it's like a second for it to print. So as soon as we have all our upgrades, which I do believe we'll have after Soldier Stone Kong, which is this stage, we're just going to start avoiding them altogether. Stone Kong, fairly simple stage all in all. There's not much that can go wrong here. There's these giant boulders that you're supposed to run away from, but they're weak to Voltornado, and we can just kind of destroy them. You'll see it coming up here on the pod side. And yeah, the rest of the stage is actually very basic platform. This is probably the most traditional stage in the game, or one of them. With the later X titles, they you can see this especially in X8. They always try to have like special gimmicky stages and whatnot, like Ride Borsky. And it's less about the traditional platforming. They wanted to show off what they could do. Some people don't like this as much, but I mean, I think it's alright. I definitely get every disrespect for X7 in the book, but I think it's a really fine speed game. Aside from all of the huge RNG factors. Oh, Focus takes a death right before the transition to the quote-unquote mid-boss of Stone Kong, and that's really, really bad. Frozen back about halfway, and suddenly Ppot's in the lead again. I was going to talk about how the lead can majorly fluctuate just based on some huge RNG events, and it's not over until the end of the run, because the final boss himself is a gigantic RNG element, but yeah, if you just, you know, happen to scratch an enemy one too many times, that can happen as well, and it throws you back half a stage. Very, very unfortunate. But yeah, the tables have turned, the tides have changed. Ppot is now going into the mid-boss. It's already dead! It's a bit of a joke. You can just use a Voltornado that'll KO most of these stone faces rotating around. You're gonna see it again momentarily on Focus's side. And then one more quickly will finish up, and you're gonna move on to Stone Kong. Stone Kong is going to immediately charge at Ppot here, first thing starting the fight. We're going to want to dash away, switch to 0, and now we have an even more powerful weapon than the explosion, which is the... oh god, I forget the name. It's the lightning uppercut thing. Hold on, Mega Man knowledge. The lightning uppercut will... it can hit bosses and enemies many times during the ascent. Like, the hitbox of the tornado is active basically the entire time that's shown, and if the boss is positioned correctly, it'll do a lot of damage. It's like one of the highest base damage tables in the game. Now, don't mind me at all as I look up the name of this technique right here, because I'm very well prepared and I lost around this game very recently, I assure you. Right Jinsho. Yeah, there we go. Okay, right Jinsho. I found it. Okay. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a very powerful technique. Basically, our main damage dealers from now on are going to be right Jinsho and Explosion. We're going to, in fact, as far as the boss fights are concerned, if you look at all the 8 Mavericks as a whole, there's about an even split of ones where we use Zero and where we use Axel. We just kind of alternate between the two techniques. The last upgrade that we invested in the special path for Zero is also one that just increases the damage output of special techniques. We're going to be using hardly any of them except Raijincho, but it boosts our Raijincho damage, so, you know, we like that. Ppot now moving into the absolute bitrate killer, Snipe Anteater, and probably casual people's nightmare, because this stage is a gigantic maze, and if you're going for all the Reploids or really anything else that's hidden in the stage, you're going to have a pretty miserable time, most likely. But the fastest path to the end is actually very, very straightforward. And this is actually one of the shortest stages in the entire run game. Yeah, probably the shortest, honestly. The gimmick is that in the second section you have these orange floor tiles that have a gravity flipper above them. And you have to stay inside it for a while for it to activate, and then you're on the underside of the stage, basically. I believe the gravity flippers operate on some sort of frame rule, from what I've been able to observe, in that they only, like, actually activate every full second or so. So you're gonna see them most likely hovering around, like, yeah, you saw Focus Dude right there, hover around in the flipper for a bit before it actually did anything. You can spin some circles there if you want. Ppot going into Snipe Anteater fight. We're gonna use Raijincho here. We're gonna hope he doesn't actually go off the side of his cylinder right here. If he does, we do have a little backup option, but we just, no. We would prefer not to have to do that, because we got the wind blades from Wind Crowarang that you can throw down there in such a way that, like, Ppot could hit him right now. But we don't even want to equip them. We just want to hope that he comes back. Oh, Snipe Anteater! We just want to hope that he comes back so we can do more Raijincha, which you can only do with basic Saber equipped. This is a pretty poor pattern for Ppot. Pretty unfortunate, but he manages. Actually a little close on health there. We're gonna have to see how Snipe Anteater treats Focus. And this is another minor RNG point. You can do a little backup damage, as I mentioned, with Wind Crowarang's weapon. We'll see if Focus pulls it out, because it looks like Snipe Anteater is about to go off here again. Off the side of his cylinder, or not? He's just summoning his drone. There he goes, yeah. So now... Or maybe this is something that we just used to do back in the day for, I don't know. If when we were less concerned about the optimal thing, just getting small damage in as we go. Snipe Anteater, come back! No, what is he doing? Oh, there he goes, equipping the wind plates and sniping them down there. Very nice. Oh, that was pretty poor pattern from both runners. Oh boy. But they both managed. They both don't die, which is by far the most important thing. They both move on into the next stage. This stage was directed by Michael Bay. You can count the number of explosions in this stage. You would need many hands. Just look at this. It is absolute cinema. Now we're coming up on the most important mid-boss in the entire video game. May I introduce you to Spinning Plane on a platform! That's right! Spinning Plane on the platform is actually somewhat finicky to kill quickly. You want to like spawn the tornado as it's moving towards the stage still inside of it. And then another one, and you can actually get some good pot shots at it with the laser gun as it goes around as well. That's Axel's variant of the gun. Laser gun's not actually its official name, but Axel gets like a laser gun as his gun variant when he has Voltornado equipped. We're going to skip this mid-boss right here in the same way that we did the first. You can actually also just damage boost on the mets and go for the flames. That's what we used to do back in the olden days. Second mid-boss of the stage coming up right here, the Free Dragon Brothers. Voltornado, 2 of them, and then this laser gun in the third. In the downtime that the Voltornado travels, basically. It's a little hard to actually aim the Voltornado at the dragons properly because of just depth issues. This is the first time that they tried, like, making a real 3D Mega Man game, and it shows. It's definitely quite janky. Excellent spinning plane on the platform. Really the most important thing in the entire run on Focus's side. And going straight into the third mid-boss on Ppotdot1. This takes a lot of mid-bosses, did you know? This is the human bridge. Why they needed to have this in 21XX, I'm also not sure, but they do. There's actually a lot of depth to this boss, quite literally, because he has those cannons all around himself, and they're always active. And if you use weapons that like go into the background, like Voltornado, that can like travel beyond invisible barriers, you can take out a lot of them like that. Another weapon that can do it is Snipe Missile, the weapon that we just got from Snipe Anteater. That's another one you can use to shoot cannons that are currently supposed to be hidden in the background, and then you can actually take care of this thing really, really quickly. Casually, this takes a lot of time because every single time that you destroy a turret, the rotation of the turrets stops and the human bridge attacks with fireballs. In the speedrun, we really only see this once ever because we only go through one rotation of turrets. We just like let it go far enough that we have access to all of them before he gets to attack a second time. Ooh, looks like Focus missed a turret somewhere in the background. That's pretty unfortunate. Yeah, just one left somewhere in the back. One that he tried to snipe with Snipe Missile. I saw that. Alright, Ppotdot going into the Splash Warfly fight itself. This fight is very interesting. We're going to send Splash Warfly into the water using Voltornado, and that's his weakness. And then we're going to stand right here on this rusted platform, and we're going to stand in a very specific spot to manipulate his AI into not going back into the water again. And we just fight him outside of the water. And that is way, way faster than what you would do casually, which is just use Voltornado / Raijinsho over and over again. Because every time you trigger his actual weakness reaction, he goes back into the water. So it's like, later, over here, later, over here. And it's a very, very slow fight. So you're gonna see it again on Focus's side. We're just going to stand in that one spot. We're going to give him a good explosion. We're going to give him as many G launcher shots as we can. And then we're going to switch to 0 for basic saber slashes. And then eventually finish off with Raijinsho when it would actually deal the finishing blow. The spot isn't horribly specific. You have a good amount of lenience here. It's just like in this. Oh no! Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That was my fault. I just completely jinxed that by saying that. I was gonna say you just have to like stand somewhere around the corner of that platform, but I'm so sorry, Focus. Oh man. Alright, I see the chat is also very excited for the next and last Maverick coming up. It's the infamous one. It's Flame High in art. The unfortunate part about playing on the Japanese version, because the Japanese voice lines are still good, but they're not as good. They're not as memorable. A very, very useful weapon in Flame Higher North stage is the Splash Laser from Splash Warfly. You're gonna see it a lot here on these big chunky robots, and coming up on the Return of the Dragon Brothers. They're just gonna, like, Splash Laser basically just one-shots them instantly, and it doesn't look like it, but their hitbox also instantly disappears. So right here you're gonna see Ppot splashing some water at them and immediately jumping through them. And you do have to be careful you're not too greedy. If you try and bonk into one of those dragons when it's not dead yet, you will die because you will receive huge knockback from those dragons and you will land in the lava below. So, very, very powerful weapon, very nice, very fast, but don't be too greedy. Second section, we can actually skip basically entirely because we're going to use Axel's signature ability, the copy shot, which we haven't used yet at all, and this is the only time we get to see it in this game. Axel can copy Reploids of a similar size and stature to him, and so we're going to copy this flying Reploid and just fly over this entire section right here. On the last stretch, making the most use out of air dashes to go fast because we can't actually cancel the transformation. And yeah, literally just skipping that entire section. And now, I believe this is the part that everyone's been waiting for. So I'll quiet down for a little. Don't worry, I have just the cure. High fight. He starts on this big gazelle-like robot. We want to shut it down. Splash Laser takes very quick care of the legs. We're gonna jump on, we're gonna jump on the neck. Being very specific not to actually jump on like the back of the gazelle robot instead. Then he would corner you with his tri-formation and just bring around the Rosie and just bully you in the middle. And then we're gonna ride Jinsho, and that was very clean, holy. Usually it is a very, very big problem getting those red Jinshos in, because the gazelle robot starts moving again, and the floor starts like jittering and shaking, and the game has trouble considering you're grounded, and then he gets in the way and he like starts throwing fireball projectiles, and it can get pretty messy. You can actually suffer a knockback and then just be thrown off the robot and die altogether, which is never pleasant when it happens. But yeah, as it happens, Ppot is through the 8 Mavericks and moving on to the fortress. Very, very nice. Let's watch Focus's Heinard right here. Very clean so far. Now the Gazelle robot is standing up, moving. Yeah, Tornado got cut short there. And one more. Nice. Very nice. Oh yeah, there's X. Hi, X. Bye, X. He just showed up and, well, we're not going to use him, as I mentioned. So he just kind of showed up to say hello. But there is no Mega Man X in this. Mega Man X7. Now moving into the most exciting stage in the video game. I hope you're ready. Alright. Strap in. You're not going to want to miss this. This is 4 minutes of hot, exciting auto-scroller action. There is nothing that the two of them can do to influence the speed of this by any means imaginable. As you can see, Ppot is just going around, using all his weapons, having fun. And that's basically what you do in this stage. The one thing that you can do if you want to be like safer or like have an easier time is Gaia Shield, Stone Kong's weapon for Axel. As you can see right here, if you have that equipped, then it can take care of those giant floating mines that are very in the way. Other than that, there's literally nothing to say about this stage. It is literally just, again, 4 minutes of auto-scrolling, so, you know.
Do you want me to take over for a second?
Absolutely.
Sure, yeah, so I didn't talk about it too much, but we're raising money for the Canadian Cancer Society. And if you don't know, it's a fantastic cause. They're a trusted partnership with donors and volunteers to try to improve the lives of all those affected by cancer through the world-class research, transformative advocacy, and compassionate support that they provide for pretty much the entire world. So if you're enjoying that, don't forget that there's also incentives people can donate towards. There's not any for today for the Mega Man stuff, But the next one you can get into is for Hades. It looks like Hades, Dicey Dungeon, and King of Demons don't have anything yet. So it'd be cool to kind of see that, see some love for some of these incentives if you're looking for something to do. And of course, we hit that milestone, and we are now at $762, which is fantastic. So I'm excited. You're excited. I also just have a hot take to say right before I throw it back over, but I think Mega Man X7's better than Mega Man X6. There's always so much hate for it, but X7's the better game. What do you think?
Interesting take. X6 is definitely a rough game. X6 is on the more difficult side, which makes it more difficult for a lot of people to complete and like. The speedrun is also very endearing, actually, because X6 has a lot of glitches. You can make Zero invincible in certain stages if you want to, and his guard shell is completely broken, but yeah, it's a fair take.
Yeah. But anyways, I won't distract you any longer. Like I said, there's not any donations at the moment.
You're good.
But go ahead, yeah.
Alright, we're actually moving towards the end of the auto scroll right here. One more thing that I did want to mention, because this should find mention somewhere for anyone who's interested in maybe learning around, because this is something good to know. We actually do our kills on the first couple of Mavericks with a specific character each, because the character that lands the killing blow on a Maverick in this game gets a free weapon and health upgrade in the tally screen. And we work towards having 2 explosions available in 1 ammo bar for Axel as fast as possible. So this is actually fairly important. And in general, if I guess you have a character that you favor, then you can give the finishing blow on any Maverick to them for them to receive an extra health up. But it's really mostly the thing that's most important is getting that extra weapon up for Axel early. So yeah, our reward for enduring this auto-scroller, as you saw on Ppot's side, is a boss that goes down in literally 2 seconds. It's quite awesome. The game really could have done without this stage, but, it's whatever. It's alright. Now moving into Crimson Palace. This is actually... Technically, this is the final stage of the game already, but it's fairly long and it has a lot of parts to it. So we have like a fourth of the estimate in this stage alone. First part is going to be this vertical back and forth right here. We're going to start with Axel for the speed, then going to switch to Zero before damage boosting on this med for 5 seconds of iframes. Going to use them to go through that boulder and climb up here. Again, using the double jump and slash technique for height, so we can actually grab onto that surface right there. Gonna do it a third time, and then whoop! Very nice, got up there. One more hit off the bat, so we can damage boost for this last boulder, and very, very nice. And now, now is where things could potentially start swinging big in the run again, because this is the red fight. Red is another notoriously RNG heavy boss, and in general very, very finicky. So the fight takes place on all these platforms that you can see right here, just floating above the abyss, and if you fall into the abyss at any point, that's instant death, and you have to restart, and that's not very nice, especially if you've used your sub-tank previously. So Ppot is just going to go and dash right up to Red. The weapon of choice here is still Red Jinsho. You can get up to 4 hits in a single cycle, I do believe. If you're good. Very, very nice. Wait, what? Whoa, wait, that was a lot of hits. Wait, that was a gigantic amount of hits. He should already be to phase 2, I do believe. So now he starts spawning like fake clones of himself around the arena, and he himself spawns very distant from you. And wow, he's nearly dead. Jesus! That was an incredible fight from Ppot! Holy mo- I've never ever seen a red that good in my life! What the hell? That's actually incredible. Let's see how Focus does here. Holy moly. Yeah. Sorry, I'm caught so off guard. Let's watch how Focus does this. Usually that takes a lot longer, and also usually you have to use the sub tank in the middle of this fight. You slam yourself into him with Raijin-Show that often. Oh man. While Focus is over here fighting Red, Ppot continues the stage. We have another little gauntlet here. I believe this is also a variable amount of robots. There's two primary ways to fight these dudes. Either you use Splash Laser, or you use Snipe Missile. If you go just Snipe Missile, you actually do have enough ammo to take care of all of them in a single ammo bar. Ppot used Splash Laser earlier and it already ran out, so he's pivoted to Volt Tornado and the Laser Gun, which is also an alright backup option. But yeah, Snipe Missile tends to be the consistent way to go that I also always used to use, because it's nice, because it has good damage, and when the enemy you're currently attacking is dead, it just moves on to the next one because it's homing. Focus finishing up what seemed to be a much more average red fight, but still pretty good. Any red fight where like he doesn't troll you by going to the farthest platform away, or you die, much worse, is honestly good in my book. Ppot is really low on health for Axel here. Chooses to use the sub tank. We picked this up in Warfly, just in front of the 3 Dragon Brothers. And we're gonna be able to make liberal use of it as well, because in the refights, they always give you a full ammo and a full health pickup after every single boss. And those not only refill your health and ammo fully, but if your tanks are empty, then it'll also fill those fully every single time. This is going to be vital. This makes the weapon tank really valuable, as every single refight, we get to use 4 explosions. 2 from the basic ammo bar, then we refill using the weapon tank, and then 2 more, which is honestly crazy. Now, I am told that both runners here have a different route through the refight, so it's going to be interesting. Things might look different here and there for a bit as their route diverges. The general strat for most fights is unchanged. Right here, we're seeing Borsky on Ppot's side. 2 explosions, then get him to the halfway mark, because, you know, he becomes invincible for a moment, and any damage beyond that would be wasted, and then 2 more explosions. All of the bosses do have significantly more health than they used to in the initial fight. So, we actually do get to make very good use of these 4 explosions. And yeah, any health damage taken is irrelevant. If you have to use your sub tank is irrelevant, because right here, this blue and this yellow thing, those are the refills, and now we're back up to full condition. The basic idea as far as order of refights goes is, you want to get, so you start with Axel, because Axel is the faster character. You're coming into the refights with him, and so you want to do the fights involving Axel first. Ppot having a little trouble with the Volt Tornado quick kill already. Okay, very nice. Manages it. You want to do the fights that involve Axel and his explosions first. Then you use Hyanard as like a transition fight, more or less, because Hyanard, if you remember, you start the fight with Axel, you Splash Laser to get rid of the legs, and then you use Raijin-Show on Zero to finish off. So it's like, that's the fight where you route in your swap to Zero, and then you do the fights that only involve Zero. There are slight divergences you can take, though. I don't actually know exactly what their routes are and how they diverge, but you are going to see them diverge. I think Focus is actually starting on... Did I see that right? Yeah, Focus is starting on Krorang, which Ppot did as second, so... It's gonna be a little hard to monitor progress here, but I do believe that generally Ppot should still be about a refight ahead of Focus at the moment. Focus getting a nice, faster quick kill on Krorang right there. Nothing. Again, I was going to mention this earlier. I didn't even really get to it, but nothing is lost yet. The final boss coming up after these 8 refights is such a gigantic RNG mess. It's the worst thing to be having at the end of an hour run. It's just, I was watching Focus do a D-Rust run earlier, and he just got the worst attack like 7 times in a row and lost like a minute to that alone. It, as unfortunate as it would be for that alone to swing the race, it very much could still happen, and it's... Right now, the race is still anyone's game. Focus showing off a modified-ish Warfly refight there. So now we have 4 explosions at our disposal. We can use Axel a lot more. We don't even have to switch back to 0 till at the finishing blow. We can just use G launcher, which happens to be more efficient, and also, you know, ties into the routing because you want to minimize weapon swaps during these refights, or not weapon swaps, character swaps as much as possible during these refights. Ppot going for the Tunyon refight, which this version we actually used to do like this back then. We used to you start the fight with Raijincho and just like slam yourself into him repeatedly, and it doesn't look like it's very efficient because Zero is just lying on the ground for the most of it. But as he's doing that, the hitbox of his Raijincho is still active. Like that whole giant spiral tornado of electricity is still going. And because Tornado Tunyon barely moves, like he always moves to your position. So if you're like overlapping one another, then he's basically stationary. And because of that, Raijincho will basically always get free hits in, and it's very efficient. Let's see. What have I not tackled? I feel like I just had something in the back of my mind that I wanted to talk about, but I forgot. I was talking about a Tunyon refight. Let's see. On the Sokong fight in general, this is also the thing with the main fight. If your Raijinchos don't line up well enough, then you just saw Focus's fight. The shield came back to him, is like looped around. And if you don't kill him in time, he will have his invincibility set, and that loses you like an extra 5 seconds or so on top of what you'd already lost by just, you know, having improper execution. One of the things in the refights that was always... I always hated the refight, specifically for the Gonguru refight, because the Gonguru refight, we don't have the mech in the refight stage. We have to fight on foot. The first phase is super simple, because its hitbox is gigantic and Raijincho always triple hits it. The second phase is... ugh. It's a royal pain. Because the hitbox is tiny, and... He jumps and walks and leaps around the arena so much, and it's really hard to get a good grasp of. You can kind of AI lock him if you're standing in a very specific position. I do believe Ppot will be going for a safer Gonguru refight, more or less. They're both entering it now, alright. So we actually get to see the difference in strats. Focus goes for a significantly bolder Gonguru refight, where he tries to work in Axel and explosions and G-launchers. I do believe that Ppot goes for the zero-only Gonguru refight, which is really the one you should be doing. He did unfortunately already use the AI lock, where you like stand inside a very specific position in Gonguru in his hitbox, and he just doesn't move. Oh, okay. Never mind, they're both switching to Axel, alright. But they both don't look like they have the right position, and yeah, Gonguru does as Gonguru does. He's just hopping around the room, doing his thing. Triangle kick! And such and such. This is rather unfortunate on both sides. Even if you were to do the zero only fight, the entirely safe way of doing this, it's a hassle to get working, to get right, to keep up. You even have to adjust your position after he does his little invincibility thing at half health. It's quite bad. But yeah, two Gonguru fights side by side, and unfortunately, you know, didn't go well on either side. That's just the nature of Gonguru refight. But the route has successfully, the route converges again for Ppot because he's done with refights. Shout out to this cutscene, by the way. Zero's just going to slash Axel and X into in half during this cutscene. If you look, quite good. Anyway, Sigma calls us his old buddies, welcomes us in the comfort of his new home, blah blah blah. Sigma fun. There's 2 phases to this. The first one is relatively simple still. It's just going to be Sigma does a bunch of things in this like moving elevator kind of thing. Ideally, he just like starts right in front of you and he never ever moves from that position. He can teleport into the background, which is really unfortunate because you can't really hit him then. Or he can teleport to the left side of the screen, which is still nice, but he might do something else after. It's ideal if he just keeps up exactly what he's doing on Ppot's side right now. I jinxed it, I'm sorry. Because that just allows you to get a perfect chain of hits there. Yeah, now this is the other attack where he pulls out the gigantic cannon. And Ppot is finishing up phase 1. Time will be on when phase 2 loses its last HP, by the way. So now, this is the big one. This is the one that could still swing everything around, in theory. This is Big Sig. We're going to use G-Launcher right here to attack him from a distance, and we just kind of need to get lucky enough to get good attacks. There's various attacks where he flees very far into the background, and we just cannot do anything about it. This is a really good attack, he's still close. We can just jump over his laser and get a bunch of shots. This was a really good attack to be getting. This is like the best one, because if you're standing in the spot covered by that top rock, then he can't really hit you. This is really good luck on Ppot's side right now, holy moly. It keeps up, it keeps up. Like, this is another attack where he's completely safe because he's sheltered from the block above. Time is going to be very soon for Ppot. If he gets another good attack... Oh, okay. Actually goes into the background, but nice! Time! Whoa! Wow! Really incredible pattern, honestly. That was nearly perfect. Let's watch Focus's run here now. Gets a slightly less optimal opening pattern because he's going to take quite a bit of damage here. And he goes into the background. When he does that the first couple times, you can use your main explosions while you still have ammo, but it's more of a thing that you like, you know, you do to get the most out of a bad situation. Now he's halfway. And yeah, this is laser attack. This is good, although he seems to be stuck a bit. He kind of has the incorrect positioning and like is shooting against the rock. Had to readjust. But this is good, this is good. One more attack. That's all it takes. Nice, all right, and that's time. GG's. That is, wow, exactly 1 minute apart for both runners. Very, very close all in all still.
It's a shame because I know where that 1 minute was lost. Should have just swapped to 0, man. Should have just swapped to 0.
Yeah, that was a very unfortunate, unexpected death.
I thought I rolled through him. I honestly did. And then I forgot, oh god, I have to restart the stage over again.
Yep. But GG's nonetheless.
Fun race. I hope
absolutely
Ppot
super solid.
I hope Ppot knows that we can talk now. Hi, Ppot.
Hello.
Good job. Hello. Winning. I have lost both X7 races I've been in. We'll take that. I had the worst death in Stone Kong. I tried rolling through the last dude and died and had to redo half the stage.
Oh, yeah, that's
I was ahead of you until then.
If I'm low on health there, I just swap to 0 and take the hit, because like,
I wouldn't know to do that. I thought I could get through, but still very solid. Just so many silly little things. Like accidentally giving 0 the speed part and then being, oh shoot, I have to redo all the menuing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah. Man, I saw that. I was really scared. I was scared you wouldn't notice.
I just practiced like the run through once, and usually in my later part of the stage, Axel is there, and so I was like, oh, it's Axel, yeah. It wasn't Axel.
I'm very conscious about like which side each person is on. Like I'll say out loud to myself at the start of each one. It's like, okay, it's Zero on the left, Axel on the right, Axel on the left, Zero on the right.
That makes
just so
for a
I
good
don't
race.
like actually mess up.
That makes for a really good race.
Yeah, it was good.
It was
My start
fantastic.
was trash, dude.
There was
Start
always
pretty
something going
good.
on.
I got early hit in the. I got early hit doing the method.
I got early hit too.
Okay, so I'm not special then. Never mind. I had a really good, decent Gungaroo, and then I menued that wrong. A really good, Borski, like oddly good. It was a 211 when all the bombs were collected. I'm like, damn, that's really
nice.
good.
Yeah. I had to go around twice.
Oh, yeah.
and missed 2 of the bombs. I had the 150.
Driving
We
extra
sold
lap.
like an hour, both of us.
Yeah. 2 spins on Tunyon. My
One
Gungaroo
spin.
was so bad. I almost lost the red meg like 3 times before making it to the last room. And then the very first Mechanoid that dropped down destroyed the red meg. So I was like scrambling to do blue mech strats on it.
I did blue mech strats anyway, because that's what I've learned to do instead, and it did help because the last one I got was really far away, so I just shot at it.
Yeah, it was just it just took.
This is why
like,
X7 is a good race. This is why X7's a good race. You might have one person starting at the front, and then by the end of it all, you get this. So
Yeah.
fun. I had a great time.
I had a sick red fight though.
I was gonna say that was a fantastic.
Can we talk about your red fight? Holy! that was the fastest red fight I'd ever seen.
In
Yeah,
good news,
that's the ideal 2 cycle. Just like one of his spawns was a little bit too far away, but like I got every single hit in at the right time. I got the double turnaround at the start. Like
perfect.
if you hit him
Wow.
twice before he turns around, then he teleports away immediately. So you have to wait a little bit to get your second hit in for him to start turning around, and then like very carefully get your next hits in. But you can get 6 tornado hits in on him before he teleports away, which forces him into the next cycle, like the spawning the clones right away.
Awesome. Well done.
This is the first time I've done it in a run, and I was
hell yeah.
super happy.
That's probably a gold then.
It was a large gold. It was like a 12 or 13 second gold.
Good. Nicely done. I've also figured out the best way to go through the refights. I had nothing else to fight for, so I'm like, what if I do the refights in the most efficient manner? And I think I have found it. You do Warfly third, because you get the weapon tank refilled for Crowang, and Crowang you have Tornado already set, so you don't even need to switch weapons. You can just do Tornado and then go into Warfly, hit him with Tornado, and then swap to G Launcher. So
Yeah.
a lot of things found in this run.
Take a look into it, but yeah, it was good.
Thank you so
Good
much
race.
for having us,
Thank
and
you
thanks
very
for
much,
your
yes.
playing. Thanks for your playing.
No, seriously, that was a fantastic race. Like both of you were, it's like neck and neck. Like it was constantly switching.
Did you already get your IGT, Ppotdot?
I just saved it in. It's 4431.
I watched the full end credits, so let's see if it's any different. It should be 4511. IGT's not a useful factor in this game, if you couldn't already tell.
Yep.
All right, is there any last
so much for
shout
having
outs or
us.
anything you want to do before we pass it on to the next
Follow
run?
Follow Ppotdot.
Follow FocusSight. Follow TimeLink. Thank you very much, TimeLink.
Thank you for
commentary.
stepping up now.
No
We appreciate
problem at
it for that.
It was a pleasure. Really. It was a great race to commentate.
We just found a wrong warp, and so we're going to be looking into that more.
Yeah, well, there's going to be some science happening.
and so keep watch of our streams in the coming days as we look to do stuff with that. But obviously, support the Mega Man X speedrunning community. Mega Man X7 is a better casual game than Mega Man X6, and I will die on that hill. I saw people talking about that, so I just want to say that really quickly. It being boring is better than being actively bad.
Yeah.
And also, this game tried something new, so I can give it the benefit of the doubt. Anyhow, thank you so much for having us. It was a great time, and good luck with the next Mega Man race, which is 6 games.
Buster only.
Yeah, Mega Man 1 to 6, Buster only, with Kame Sennin and Palpa Blades coming up. But thank you so much, our X7 runners. We had FocusSight, we had Ppotdot1, and of course, we had TimeLink on commentary. Everyone, hang tight. And don't forget, we got Capcom games you can donate for $5. So if you want some Mega Man in your life, you can get it right now in your life. Ah! But hang tight, everyone. More Game Over Cancer coming up right after this.